I'm really intrigued by the trend that is happening, especially when you look at millennials and Gen Z, because if you look at Christmas, if you take out the part about Jesus and you let's focus on the commercialism, you're looking at transactions, right? Here's a present I bought for you. Like you said, hope you enjoyed the snow. Again, it's very transactional, and at some point there has to be a void that has to be filled.
Yeah.
And you're seeing this transition now where people are getting away from just doing things from a material or surface level, and now they want to have some kind of meaning or purpose behind what they're doing.
Yep.
They want to have some meaning or purpose behind what they believe. And they're looking for a relationship, just like this influencer said, that them purchasing the Bible symbolizes them beginning to walk with God. Well, what is walking with God? That's a relationship. And I'm just amazed at the shift that's happening just within the culture, where you're starting to see people begin to truly value and desire true relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's no surprise to me that, towards the end of the year, as we get to Christmas, people more than ever are desiring true relationship. But it's not just with people. They're desiring true relationship with Jesus.
Amen.
With the Lord. They want to get to know him more. And that just is encouraging, man, as we head into the end of this year and into 2025. There's a major shift that's happening, and I'm here for it. I couldn't be happier about the gift that we received with Trump getting back into office, with some of these laws starting to get overturned, with religious freedoms being protected, with our freedoms in general and our liberties being protected in this nation, and really not having to deal with any type of oppressive ideologies such as Marxism, socialism. The greatest gift that we've gotten is a rebirth. We've gotten a restart, a reset that God has given us. And, now's the time.
Yeah. Sometimes I think we focus on what we want so much that we forget about what we need.
It's good.
And think about how many times on Christmas you woke up in the middle of the night, you went downstairs to see if all the presents were under the tree. You shook a couple of them to see if it sounded or felt like the gifts you wanted. And you're like, there's that one or two gifts I just really want. But then your parents knew that there was something else you needed that you didn't know in your age that you needed. And when you open that gift, you got the ones you wanted, but then there was that one you really needed, and it kind of just shocks you. Wow. I think that's what God is there's a lot of people out there that don't realize that Jesus is the ultimate gift that, maybe they didn't want, but they realized that they needed. And there's going to be a lot of people that are probably feeling that this Christmas.
That's good.
There could be a lot of people who don't have families or people to celebrate in this season. So they need the peace of God. And that is just my biggest prayer, is that, God swoops down with the peace from heaven and comforts those people around the world that maybe they feel alone this Christmas season. And maybe they don't even realize it, but that they just need the love of God and realize that he is the ultimate gift. So it's think about how many times your parents got you something for Christmas that you didn't even know was in there, but you realized you just loved it the moment you opened it. And it's the moment that some people just give the Lord a chance, that's ultimately when they start to find the comfort and the peace. They've tried all these other gifts. They wanted all these other gifts, these other presents, but they realize it wasn't the meaning. It wasn't ultimately what they needed. And then they go on and then they say 10 years from now, I remember the year that I got saved. I tried all these other things, thought I wanted and needed all these other things. But then when I found Jesus, I realized all that stuff was not really that important. And I remember many Christmases where there was something that I wanted and I got that, but then there was something I needed. And the thing I needed, I realized ended up helping me in my future. And that's the stuff that ends up sticking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
And I think people just forget that principle sometimes. And it's just good to remind yourself in that season or in that process of it's not always about what you want. It's about what you need. But when you realize what you need, that's when the things you need can help produce the things you want. what does God do? When you call on his name, he will give you the desires of your heart. So then
That's
you
so
end up
good.
at the end of the day getting what you want.
Yes.
So you just have a better resource that's going to help you get what you want. You don't feel like you're in it alone, you know? So I think that's the ultimate thing.
That's so good, man.
You know?
What people need to realize is the character of God.
Yeah, exactly.
God is a father first.
Yep.
And when you think about the characteristics and the character of a good father, he's never going to give you something that is going to hurt you.
Correct.
He's never going to give you something that is harmful that you didn't want, right?
Yep. Yep.
He's always going to give you exactly what you need because he knows what you need. Especially if you don't necessarily know that you need it at the time, or you're not even necessarily asking for it.
Yep.
But to your point, God is such a good father. Not only will he give you what you need, but he'll also reciprocate back by giving it the desires of your heart and what you want.
100%.
And so it just comes down to us realizing that the greatest gift that's available to us cannot be found under a tree.
Yeah.
It can't be wrapped in a bow.
No.
It actually came messy and hung on a cross. Most people didn't even want to see it.
No. Said they hid their faces. It was so bad. So there you go.
You know, we like to dress Christmas up, right? You
Yeah.
know, let's find the sparkly wrapping gift paper. Let's find the best looking gift bag. You know, let's get the nicest looking thing. But our greatest gift was unrecognizable from a human standpoint. Our greatest gift was tortured and abused and oppressed and maimed and ultimately murdered. So God gave us the ultimate, to me, offering of love.
Yeah.
By giving us, by taking something that is so horrible and unjust and giving us, like you said, peace, favor, grace, and right standing in return.
There was some